All right, I think we're live. All right, it's good to be back and chatting about our hobby progress and just the
Yeah,
hobby in
no,
general. Nice to see you're here too, Eric.
yeah, no, it does look like we're live. Another another stream starting. Yeah, I'm here. Greg isn't with us at the moment. There's a chance he'll join eventually. Not entirely sure, but we'll see. Looks like just watching some of the stream stuff. You look pretty good. Mine's still laggy
Yeah,
as tends to be, but
yeah, looks
that
bad.
yeah. That's just how it is.
Par for the course, I guess.
Yes, I don't know what the hell's wrong with that. But yeah, now but yeah, it's good to be streaming again. Um and it looks like it is live streaming both from Twitch here as well as on YouTube. So
Crazy.
anyone who's either platform's fine to use. Perhaps the Twitch has a little bit more features per se, but they're still essentially the same, however you want to watch it. And they should both, after these live recordings, they should go up like that too. So that's all good. All
Yeah, so I
good.
guess it's been like a week since the last stream, right?
Yeah, no, so this is the last week on Tuesday evening did one, and this is
Yeah.
another. I
Anything new
don't.
and exciting since the last stream, Eric?
I guess I played a game of Kill Team. I
No.
finished assembling some more of the Shadow War terrain.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
didn't paint any of it or anything like that,
Obviously.
obviously, but I
Yeah.
finished assembling more of it, and or pretty much most of the stuff that came in it, and sort of set something up and played a game against a Tau Kill Team, and it was a good time. I just managed to win, and I didn't think I was gonna. Like, it started out like one of his snipers with a rail rifle obliterated one of my guys, and
Yeah.
like it didn't start
They
super
tend
well,
to
and
do that.
I took a bunch of wounds and this and that, but
You were
being that
using Primaris, or what were you using?
most of them were Primaris and two scouts, but because of that, they were able to take a lot of wounds and
Yeah.
um, ignore some flesh wounds, all that sort of thing. And so they were pretty resilient. So I think at the end, I still only lost that one model. Most of the
Hmm.
others were pretty badly wounded or had multiple flesh wounds, but
Yeah.
um, they held it steady, held
Yeah.
it steady. So it was fun. And like having played another game, I do like how Kill Team has uh, the sort of back and forth nature of it, and also the command points system that was sort of adapted from 8th edition
Hmm.
40k and put in this is pretty good. Like, I like it. I feel it's a way to, I mean, obviously it's a Games Workshop game, so there's tons of randomness and all that sort of thing, but
Yeah.
um, the command points gives a way to sort of minimize some of that. And if like some bad roll or something particularly critical happens, like, you can kind of prevent that. Like, I got
Hmm.
sort of case in point with that. I got initiative in the very first turn and used my sniper, or sniper specialist. It was actually a scout with a heavy bolter,
Hmm.
and I used him to fire at the rail rifle guy and got a wound through and would have probably killed him, but I think he used one of his command points to like basically mitigate the wound, and
Oh.
then shot back and would have obliterated the scout, but I used a command point for one of their tactics, the Space Marine tactics called like Battle Brothers, that allows you to like pretty much transfer unsaved like an unsaved wound over to
Oh.
another Space Marine within like 2 inches, although they are mortal wounds, so like you have to take the wounds. So I
Mm.
basically use that to prevent the heavy bolter guy from dying and just lost another one, which just
Mm.
that was like if it would just straight like the randomness of the dice, like
Yeah.
I would have lost this pretty powerful heavy bolter guy like immediately.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that was nice, and like or like oh you failed that 3+ save or whatnot and lost your leader, re-roll it, and that might not happen. So that ability to
Yeah.
have a little bit more control and reduce some of the randomness reminds me a little bit of what I liked about Malifaux when we
Mm-hmm.
played that a while back. How you have that your control hand of cards that you can use to sort of replace any bad flips or bad
Yeah, I
rolls
really
per
like that
se.
actually. I feel that was one of the game systems that I enjoyed the most, really.
Yeah, I feel that's probably still a little bit stronger than this command point stuff,
Yeah, certainly.
but I because for that you have like a whole hand of like 5 cards, or I don't remember,
I think it
five,
was
six
five,
cards
yeah.
that so you have a lot of ability to influence stuff. Whereas this, not quite as much, but I still like it, and it's
Yeah.
not unlike 40K, which has so many stratagems and such. Like each codex has like 30, and then there's some basic ones. Like there's so much stuff to keep track of. For this, at least at the moment, it's still like there may be 6 per warband, and then
Yeah.
6 basic ones. So like it's still somewhat manageable. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
actually, I guess each specialism has some too. So I mean, it's already still kind of a lot, but I think it's still manageable.
Yeah.
And so that was fun. So the game was good, and the fact that both of us kind of struggled and thought it looked bad at certain times, I think is
Yeah.
nice too. That just it was close throughout, and we actually played a mission and played to the mission, so it was good. It was
Yeah.
fun, and I'm still excited to keep playing. But so I know you're gonna have to get involved again soon.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like, I have to do probably a little bit more work on the Imperial Guard kill team. I have most of
Hmm.
those models are assembled though. Even a
So yeah,
bunch are
so that's
painted.
good.
I guess some of the ones that I'm still working on painting, they're not glued to their bases, so that might be a problem. Um, they have
Okay.
pins, so I feel I could just put them on the base and they'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, a lot of my Marines that I'm using, which are those Primaris conversions, they're just pinned like that. I mean, for the one, I put a little bit of blue tack on one of the feet to
Mm-hmm.
stabilize it, and it worked. It's worked pretty well.
Yeah. Okay.
And I can't get over how poorly or how bad I look on these streams.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
Like it's not even on a wireless connection. Yeah, I think my internet service provider just really
Yeah.
shit in the bed.
Yeah. I guess for me,
But yes,
there hasn't been anything too exciting this week for me. The biggest thing I feel isn't really exciting. At work, I burned the hell out of a few of my fingers with liquid nitrogen, and oh boy,
exciting.
yeah, it makes doing stuff harder. I don't know. You probably can't really see too well, but like you can see, like they're probably the tips of the fingers are maybe gonna blister a little, and then also on the thumb. So it's to the point where, like, if I'm holding stuff, like, I can't really easily feel anything other than, like, kind of like a painful, like,
Yeah, yeah, they look pretty
burning
inflamed too.
sensation. Yeah, it feels terrible. I guess fortunately it's not
Yeah,
on my left hand, which that's what I that I'm left-handed, so I use that the most. But even still, like when I'm working on models and stuff, not having some of the sensations and stuff in your hands make things harder.
Yeah, no, I feel this hobby, like the models are small enough, like you need dexterity to do it effectively, and particularly the stuff you're trying to do, make these intricate conversions and
Yeah,
sculpting stuff, like you need your
it's
hands.
been a little rough, I'll
Yeah,
admit.
that sucks.
Um, but I don't know. I guess hopefully it'll improve in a few days. But the I guess the problem is tomorrow and then on Friday as well. I'll be doing more work with liquid nitrogen. I doubt as to whether I don't think I'm gonna burn myself again, but I mean, who knows
Yeah,
what
that's
things could
rough.
still go awry.
Do you still have to drive down like the long drive to do this stuff?
Yeah,
That sucks.
yeah.
That sucks.
Um, but I guess now that I'm mentioning like working on models, despite burning the shit out of my hand or one of my hands, I've been working on sculpting and I guess also making another model for the Sister of Sigmar
Man, Adam,
world.
right when you said your hand there, it really gave me strong like flashbacks to Metal Gear Solid when Revolver
Yeah.
Ocelot loses my hand.
Yeah.
Very aside there, but Metal Gear Solid's a great series.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of our work is obviously somewhat inspired off of Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that aside, so yeah, you're working on
So here
another
I
one
guess
of
I've
these.
shown in this case I'm using one of the new Night Vault models from the Eyes of the Nine set, the like female one running.
Hmm.
I've slowly started to replace and modify things on that. Like I've replaced the head. I still think I need to sculpt like a hood and stuff on her, but I've started working on sculpting her pants and also like trimming down her feet such that I can then
Yeah.
sculpt boots over those feet.
My
Um,
goodness, like the model has really nice motion, but like man, is her waist thin.
yeah, so let's actually, if we
Like
look at like
wow.
another part, yeah, like her waist is a lot thinner than her shoulders, which is, I mean, I guess maybe it's like that on
Yeah, yeah.
some women, but for the most part,
Yeah, it
that's
seems
not
a
really
little
how it is.
pronounced.
Yeah. Um,
I mean, I guess yeah, you're gonna be like you've already started to sculpt on some of the pants there and such, but you're gonna completely sculpt
yeah, I have
like
to
some sort of
resculpt like most of
clothing.
the clothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like the model's gonna look pretty different.
Yeah, and I also replaced her sword with a hammer,
Hmm. Well, it's
which
nice. So that the head that you're using, is that from one of that free Stormcast model
yeah,
that
yeah, that's from
they were giving out?
one of the Stormcast models. Like I don't like when I'm
Yeah.
finally done with the model, I'm not even sure how much of the head you're going to be able to see, but
I
um
mean, I feel it's a cool face. Like you would, I mean, I don't know. Depending on how it was, you might not even need to put the hood, or it could be
yeah, I mean I need to
like on the.
decide more
It
about
could be just
that.
on the back, like she's not wearing it or something. Like, because perhaps if you're running around, that's might restrict your vision more than you'd want. I don't know. Or I feel that's something we can just kind of, as you work on it, see how it goes and how you feel about it.
Yeah, so I mean that's certainly true. Yeah, let me see if I can put up a picture of. So I've also replaced, as I was saying, I replaced their sword. Um, replaced her sword with a hammer. And okay, here we go. There's like the picture of the start of it. So it's a lot smaller. Hey, I think Greg might be
Hey
here.
everybody, I'm here.
Hey, Greg.
Hey.
Nice to see you
Hey.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good to
sorry
see.
for being late.
Yeah,
No,
no
it's
worries.
okay.
So you were able to join. Looks like you joined fine, so that worked. That's good.
Yeah, so that worked just fine.
That's good. Yeah, we've just been kind of talking about random stuff, what we've been up to. Adam has been talking a little bit about the conversion he's working on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, it's going okay. I guess, Greg, what are your thoughts? Like, I was thinking I might eventually give her like a hood or something similar to the other one, but like, I mean, I don't necessarily need to do that.
Like have the hood pulled up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking maybe she should have the hood.
That's sort of what I was thinking too, but I guess,
I sort of brought up the point that I mean, certainly she should like have a hood, like 'cause that's somewhat of the aesthetic. But she might not like. It could be she wouldn't necessarily have to be wearing it.
yeah.
Like it could be like because maybe that's not something you would if you're like sprinting through something. Maybe you wouldn't really want that
Yeah.
up. But I don't know. I feel that's something that maybe as the model continues to um, advance, you can kind of make those decisions.
Yeah, that's certainly true. I don't know. I'm soon. I guess I'll start trying to sculpt the boots, and we'll see. Like, we'll see how they go. And like, her feet are really big. I don't know. I already, as I had mentioned a little earlier, I started trimming them down a little. But I don't know. We'll see. Like, the last thing I want is to try and sculpt boots over top of her feet and like make them look even larger. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm making progress. Like, tonight was largely just spending more time sculpting like folds and stuff in the pants that she's wearing. It's going okay. Like, I'm reasonably happy with it, but I don't know. It's slow progress, and like some of this stuff, like I feel as I work on it, I might end up changing it and re-sculpting it. But
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. And I guess the original one, I'm still working on that model. Still a lot of sculpting that has to be done, but
Yeah, no, I feel all of them you're practically just resculpting everything.
yeah, I don't know. I feel I'm trying to use this as an exercise to do even more ambitious things when it comes to models and sculpting. And I guess in this case, it's a little harder to just use base models to make the Sisters of Sigmar, because most of the stuff that is commonly available doesn't really fit the original GW aesthetic, or like something that we're trying to go for as well. So.
Yeah, nah, it's true.
And I mean, this model that I'm working on now is quite a bit larger than the first one I'm working on. So I guess that was another thing that I sort of wanted to explore with the warband, have a range of different sizes in the models, but I don't really want to want to go to any huge extremes. At least probably not.
Well, there could be a giant.
Yeah, see, that's an interesting. There could be some larger ogre or giant type model, but the main thing is I don't know how we would justify that. Like
That was
why?
Wardstone.
that was more to be a joke.
Wardstone.
Wards. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Should I have them? Any of the models actually carrying Wardstone? Obviously carrying Wardstone, like shards of
Oh yeah.
crystals and stuff. I guess if anything, they could just have like a satchel or something with, and there you'd say, say they're carrying Wardstone.
Can have them start crystallizing like a crystal warriors. The Wardstone is.
Yeah, they're crystallizing. I don't want to do that. That'll be hard.
Yeah, it would be hard.
It'll take a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's where we are in terms of my hobby-related projects. I guess also, yeah, some of the earlier streams we talked a little bit about the game Monster Apocalypse that Privateer Press puts out, and I've been slowly working on assembling some of those models, but they're made of resin. And if any of you have worked with a lot of resin, like Forge World-esque resin, they have mold shifts and the like, and they're kind of a nightmare. This is certainly no exception. So it's progressing slowly.
Yeah, no, I feel there's always a mold shift, and like rarely can you easily trim it down. Like you have to sell like a resin sucks.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Resin sucks.
Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the hobby stuff I'm working on. I guess we can maybe talk a little bit about some of the other happenings.
Yeah, that
hobby-wise, at least for Games Workshop. One of the things that I was surprised by was some of the announcements of some more stuff for Adeptus Titanicus. Particularly, they're actually releasing, probably in the next few weeks or so, some of the new little, like, Knight Lancers. They actually made models of them, so that's good. It's good they're still supporting the game and actually coming out with other models.
Yeah, no, I think it was kind of exciting that they did announce a bunch of new models finally, or maybe not a bunch of new models, but they're still supporting stuff. Like the Lancers, there are some boxes of those, and they're also releasing a bunch of the weapon options that were kind of promised.
Yeah, like the Warlord Titan now has some of the other weapon options, like the, I don't know, maybe
Plasma Annihilator or something.
And like maybe these are turbo lasers on the shoulders.
Yeah, no, the others are.
And I think this is also a different head too, right?
Yeah, no, it looks like the upgrade sprue or whatever has the 2 turbo lasers.
Oh, Lord of the Rings, not that.
Yeah, the turbo lasers. I think it has 2 of the Sun Fury plasma annihilators, and then also a fist and a power fist or whatnot. So there are actually a bunch of different things. So it's kind of nice.
Sun Fury plasma annihilator.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
That's what it's called. It says it right here.
Yeah, but and like, yeah, I mean, they look pretty much just like the Forge World versions, so that's, I think, ultimately a good thing, and it's nice that they're finally being released. And yeah, the Power Fist, it also has some like maybe Vulcan Mega Bolters on the bottom of it. Look pretty neat.
Oh yeah, they do actually. That's cool.
And I think
Actually, they're
as
paired laser blasters. Those are the shoulder mounts.
yeah, and right when they first released pictures of these, people, or the way it was announced, said that the way that particularly for the Warlord was going to be released, it's like as just a separate box that has these new weapons and such, and not just releasing the weapon sprue. And that caused a storm of anger from all over the internet and such, because like,
Everyone
oh
already has their warlords
yeah,
and they
no,
already
anyone who's interested in,
magnetized the stuff and they want these new weapons and
yeah,
they'll have to
everyone
buy
who's
a new
interested in
one.
the game already has some warlords. Like if you bought the box game, you have at least two, and they've made them such that they're easy to magnetize. Like people want that, and the fact that immediately it's being released as like a new box, it's just like, I that's not a great move. But I mean, who knows? Maybe Games Workshop always intended to release them separately, but they just first wanted to release. But people were outraged, and I can understand why. But they quickly turned around and said, like, hey, we will be releasing the sprues, the weapon sprues separately. And admittedly, they said, like, they did, the language they used was something to the extent like, we heard you and we're responding to that. So that somewhat suggests that they didn't plan to release them separately, which is
I
kind
don't
of,
know. I feel it's like
but
they're with like most of their other releases and stuff. Like
they eventually released the stuff separately.
they the initial releases are always they have some form of box, and then later on maybe they'll start separating that stuff. At
Yeah,
least
no,
for a
so
little while.
that's kind of what I figured was going to happen.
The
Um,
new knights, the Serratus knights, are they going to be plastic? Do we know?
yeah, they're plastic. It's a
That's
box of
excellent.
two. They look really nice.
Yeah, I
And
like
I
them.
It's not like some shitty resin medium
no,
for
it's
all
not.
portable.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think they're cool and it's nice. I feel the fact that they're actually plastic. I think, I mean, hell, if they're anything like the other nights, only like $35 isn't too expensive. I mean, it's only for two, but like, I don't know. Everything in games for Games Workshop stuff's expensive. To actually buy something reasonable for less than $40 is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And it'll be pretty neat to see them alongside the cute little Adeptus Titanicus knights.
Because these are a little larger too, so.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I don't know. I'm excited that. So certainly we all anticipated that there would be the additional weapons, and they would look just the same, and like I'm glad to see them. But it's nice to see that there are also these
Variant knights.
yeah, that they're coming out and they aren't like resin or something like that.
Yeah, so
So
that
I
probably
think
means the
that's
other
nice.
knight variants will probably be released eventually too. We're hopeful.
No, yeah, I think so. And the fact that even these aren't like a resin version, like I think is a good sign that
Yeah, I agree.
that most of the models will be like that. And if that's the case, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see that. And like, I mean, I don't know, Forge World's kind of at an interesting spot that like for the game, like they want to be able to be releasing stuff slowly such that there's like kind of a constant stream of models, and not just release everything at the same time. However, like that's also bad in some sense that like sure they've been released relatively quickly, but if like you were really excited to play the game, like with just the stuff that was in the box, like you could hardly do that. Like you kind of needed the Reavers and the Warlords, or Warhounds. I'm sorry, the Reavers and the Warhounds to like actually make lists and stuff. So it did take like, I don't know, a few months until like you can finally now make some armies, even though you don't have like most of the weapon options. And sure, now they're releasing them, but it's sometime next year where you'll just get the sprues. Otherwise, you have to buy some more warlords. Like it's still kind of hard for if you were excited to play it. Like they're still not making it super easy for people, I feel. But for me and us who don't go about anything too quickly, I feel it matters a little bit less.
Yeah. I guess they also showed new like weapon options for the Reaver Titans as well.
Yeah, no, so that's good to see they're getting more weapon options. I mean, maybe the Warhounds will get them too. I don't know.
Yeah, I
And
don't even know
admittedly,
how many weapon options did they have in their
yes,
box.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure like more than the others, their box came with most of the options. Like they had the Inferno Cannon Flamer thing. They
Yeah.
had, and I think two of them. I think they had two of the plasma blast gun and the turbo laser thing. So like I think more than the other two variants, like they actually had a lot of the weapons. Like I don't even know what else they can get. Like they probably still have some other options, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so I don't know. It's good. Maybe someday we'll actually be able to play it.
Yeah, that'd
be
be
nice.
great. Get on that, Eric.
Yeah, no, I need to get back to painting this.
Lots of stuff to be painting.
Yeah, no, it's just I'm not. It's hard for me to keep at it.
Yeah.
There's always some distractions, and then I feel I painted so few models in general that like I
That's a
don't have
deterrent
any
itself.
like
Yeah.
standard routine or something. Everything seems like really foreign, and I'm worried about.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's
Hopefully
just how
soon.
it is for a while.
Yeah. You working on anything, Greg? I mean, I know
Of course not. And no, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe sometime.
I played Pandemic Legacy with some friends last night, so I played a board game. Just not Warhammer or Warhammer related.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Pandemic is a pretty good game, and certainly the Legacy version makes it a lot more interesting because the games continue to change based on how you've done things, and it gives you a reason to care about what's occurring, which is something that the normal Pandemic game, which is like a cooperative board game where people are trying to like prevent 4 different diseases from sort of outbreaking around the world and like leading to kind of global catastrophe. But I mean, I think the game has a pretty good system and whatnot. But like it goes south, it's just like whatever, we lost, just stop. But the legacy component that like losing a game will actually hurt games, in the future and such. Like it makes, even if it looks like you're gonna lose a particular game, you want to try to minimize the damage, just knowing that you're gonna have to keep working
You're gonna still
with
have to deal with it.
Yes, I think that makes the game a lot better.
Yeah, we played 2 games, lost the first. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, okay.
Did you win the second?
We won the second.
That's good.
How
many players?
3, myself being one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, well, like I feel it would be interesting if Games Workshop tries to sort of introduce some more legacy elements to some of
Mhm.
their like other sort of games, which admittedly Blackstone Fortress seems to have a little bit of that sort of thing. In that once you sort of finally beat it, there's like a little sealed packet that you can open up and I don't know, learn some narrative something.
That's cool.
But even in addition to that, like it still is sort of a campaign based thing that like once your characters, if they get hurt or if they gain abilities or items or something, you like have these little plastic bags, stasis chamber sort of things that you put your cards in between sessions such that you can
Hmm.
kind of pick up where you left off. So that in itself is somewhat of a legacy element, or at least
Hmm.
kind of a campaign element that you continue to play with the game. And I think also if one of like if a character dies throughout the game, like they're gone for good. So that I think that's kind of neat that there's at least I think admittedly, I think if you die in the game, you have to post game sequence, you have to kind of roll on some tables, and it's only if you roll poorly that they're dead for good. So like
Okay.
I don't think it's something that's just going to happen necessarily,
Yeah.
but it certainly could. And I think that element gives I don't know, or I assume it'll give the game a little bit more sort of weight and gravity to it,
They
which I
still
think
haven't
is
released
good.
the rules yet, have they?
No, I don't think they're gonna, unfortunately, even though they're trying to make this more like just a sort of dungeon crawl board game.
Yeah.
Um, they're not following those other sort of traditional things where board games tend to just release their rules. I mean, because they wouldn't need to release all the narrative stuff or anything like that. Because, I mean, they split all the rules into a whole bunch of different packets. So, like, they
Yeah.
could easily just release, like, one or two of those
Hmm.
that were focused on the mechanics just to, like, get people excited about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, actually, I think Games Workshop had posted something on their community page today about like 10 things you might not have known about Blackstone Fortress. And most of them are somewhat throwaway, but
What are the things?
One is
um,
the Rogue
It's
Trader
coming
has
out
a
on Friday.
yeah. You didn't
that
know.
is true. Blackstone Friday.
It's funny. One of them was the Rogue Trader has an interesting looking pistol. It might be like a Splinter pistol.
Yeah, that's
Handle. The
something.
grip of the pistol looks all fucked up. It'd
But
be
you
hard
Yeah,
to
should check
hold.
out that grip, not a skull in sight. So obviously not Imperial.
it's like a little tongue in cheek there, realizing their stuff's sort of stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I guess also the Beastmen, like you have some different options of like weapons and poses, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, we might as well go
Who
down through them.
cares?
We don't have to spend too much. Yeah,
Um,
these kind of bad looking beastmen have some bad looking weapon options that you
the
can change.
Pious Vorn, the one with this like flamethrower chain weapon, apparently that was a gift to them from the like preacher person in the game. So like I
Yeah,
Sure,
guess.
we didn't know that, but why the fuck would we care?
yeah, it's like, yeah, I didn't know that, but I find myself struggling to care.
Yeah, I mean maybe they'll tell us more about that, but like who knows?
Yeah,
Um okay, they talked about the like the halflings. They have like a little
Refrigerator on his
refrigerator on the
back.
back.
I
That's
mean,
fine.
not
Why does he
too
have his
interesting.
finger on the trigger? Why?
He's shooting the sniper rifle into the ground to test if it works. He's a real marksman.
Mm-hmm.
A
Number
real marksman.
6. The Man of Iron has an Imperial Aquila model on him.
Yeah, so that's sort of funny, like saying that, like, yeah, well, No, he's not a man of iron. He has the Aquila on there, so he has to be loyal to the Imperium, which that certainly brings up. Like, there's a lot of interesting narrative threads that could come out of this man of iron.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't result in a whole army. God, I hope not.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
it
think
would
they'll
be
do that.
with a little like the only thing that could be cool is if like they added more to the Adeptus Mechanicus and some of their like I don't know Legio Cybernetica and like
Yeah.
expanded some of that stuff. But like, I would rather not have this a new army. I mean, new armies are cool and all, but I feel this is one of those mysteries that is probably better left still kind of a mystery.
Yeah. Certainly. I guess then they're mentioning that some of the characters, their at least some of the inspiration for the designs were taken from artwork by John Blanche.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I didn't realize I had sort of forgotten about some of these images and didn't realize that like navigator design is
Yeah.
straight up just a Blanche design.
Yeah.
But so that's cool. That sort of homage to that.
The subpar ranger model, I guess it has this like little crystal dangling that apparently it's a
We're all struggling to care about.
yeah, it's apparently it's a
Yes.
phase crystal that allows the ranger to pass through solid matter. That's kind of neat. I mean, you never know that, but it's cool, I guess. It's sort of stupid where they have
Well,
it
that's why her
attached.
pose is so fucking dumb. She like doesn't have to care about her surroundings or where she's holding the rifle or banging into shit because she
Yeah,
can
'cause
just move through
like,
that
whoop,
stuff. So it's like
swing the
I
rifle
can.
through the wall. Like, oh, it's okay, everybody.
It's okay, guys.
Yeah,
I got this.
Well,
yeah,
that's why I guess that's why she has that crystal because the rifle is so big she can't
Yeah,
carry
couldn't
it around.
effectively use it.
yeah,
We figured it out. So we didn't know that, but now we do.
yeah. The
Yep.
third, the third is they're mentioning the navigator. He apparently hails from what is one of the oldest navigator households. Um,
Yeah, it seems it was even like this particular household was actually mentioned in like the original Rogue Trader book for like the first edition of 40K. So that's pretty neat.
yeah, that's
Going
cool.
back to some of that material and kind of continuing to work it in and make it still relevant. So I think that is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Um, the way of the trapper. The Kroot mercenary can lay traps with which to incapacitate or kill his victims.
You can set traps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
I guess since he's a Kroot, he can devour his victims and like learn stuff from them. So
Yeah,
they're
but I feel
supposed to be
that in
like
itself
little.
is more interesting than that. Like one of his mechanics is that he can set traps.
Yeah.
Like just reminding people again what the Kroot are and what their sort of abilities are is I think more interesting than that they
Yeah.
can lay traps.
And I guess finally they say the profiles of like a lot of the models and stuff in Blackstone Fortress are apparently going to go into kill teams or kill team. That's cool.
Yeah, it's nice they're working on that stuff, and I forget it if it was I read somewhere on a podcast or something that I was listening to. Someone brought up that they thought like maybe the Man of Iron wouldn't result in like another army right away, but maybe like a kill team or something like that. Which I also hope that doesn't happen, but it does bring up an interesting point that Kill Team does seem like it would be a good a good way for Games Workshop to test the waters for different types of Xenos armies or different models, all these different things,
Yeah.
without a huge, risk. Like, because
So I guess, yeah, yeah. Well, I guess with Blackstone Fortress coming out this Friday, who all here pre-ordered it? I sure didn't.
Not I.
yeah, obviously I did not do that.
I mean, after I found out that I missed the opportunity to get the trade warrant special item from their website, it's like, whatever.
Fuck. Seriously, I wanted that. No, obviously, I don't give a shit about that. Just
Yeah.
some piece
Yeah, I
of
guess if you were
paper.
one of the first people to pre-order the game online, they would send you like a little stylized, like, search warrant or something
I mean, I
for.
guess it's kind of cool
Yeah,
that
it's cool.
they did that and they were
I mean,
making
they
that
probably
stuff.
should have just
But
put that in the game, right?
yeah, if they were gonna have someone actually make it and
Yeah,
do
why
it,
didn't they just include that in the game?
yeah, because it could have been like right up there on the top of some, after you get underneath the
Yeah.
models or whatever, just as that additional kind of unboxing thing that makes you feel like you got a premium
Yeah.
sort of item and like feel really enveloped in that narrative and such. I feel like if they're gonna have, because someone on their staff there had to do that, why
Yeah.
do it for like some pre-order bonus that like is gonna sell out almost immediately? Like it would have. I don't know. It just seems like them kind
Yeah.
of wasting their talents.
Yeah.
But so I mean, I'm still excited about it, and like I look forward to playing it at some point. I mean, but I feel like we mentioned earlier, it does bring up this weird point. Like, if we do get it, like, what are we gonna do with it? Like, because like to play the game, you kind of need the models assembled, but like a lot of the models have serious problems.
I mean, we could assemble the navigator.
Yeah, I feel
Right.
maybe probably the Man of Iron.
The Man of Iron's fine, yeah.
The Crew's pretty good.
The Crew's fine.
So yeah, I feel we could probably assemble a few of them
I like
We just-
fruit.
and use
Pious
them.
Born or whatever, it's fine.
I mean,
I don't know, we
obviously
could
the
assemble some
halflings.
of
Like
them.
I would love to use the halflings. Everyone loves the halflings. Nah, yeah, seriously, fuck those halflings.
I don't know, we have
I mean,
other
they-
models we could substitute.
That's true.
That's what we would do.
But then, like, yeah, would we? Because like it seems like the guardsmen might be a good opportunity to convert better guardsmen and whatnot. But you probably need lots of them to play the game.
Oh, the Chaos Guard? Yeah, I assume you do.
yeah.
I assume you do.
And like it would be a lot of work to fix them. I mean, they look fine, but
Yeah.
if you really wanted
Yeah.
to fix them, I think you would have a lot of work. And like it would be cool to like modify the ranger to be not as bad looking, but like that would be a lot of work. Like we we have enough other stuff we're doing that it's just like I would like to be able to do it, but like I don't foresee it. Like if we actually were able like to get it and actually play it, like that would be great.
Yeah, I agree. It would be great.
I wonder if any of people are listening to this after the fact or whatever. Be interesting to hear sort of comments if any of you are actually interested in getting the game and like if you have plans of converting some of the stuff or if you're actually interested in playing the game or if it's some combination of the two and how you're going to kind of get around that. I mean, I guess admittedly, since they're snap fit sort of models, like some of the stuff it's just sort of a wash. Like who cares about those beastmen? Obviously, who cares about those shitty Chaos Space Marines, so like you probably could just clip them out, push fit them together, and use it like whatever.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of throwaway models. Might as well just snap them together and play with them.
Yeah.
Like yeah, so I feel that that could kind of work in that sense. Like the fact that they are really nicely detailed and well made, but they're snap fit kind of fits the just board game mentality that like with a little bit of work, just snipping them off and trimming them, you could pretty easily just snap them together, and it's okay. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't necessarily have to remove all the mold lines carefully or something. If
Yeah.
it's just like I need one of these Space Marines to kick around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I imagine Games Workshop will probably have tons of copies of it, like, because I feel they're foreseeing it being a pretty big seller.
Yeah. I would
They've
think.
certainly spent a lot of effort on their community page talking about it and such, so I feel they'll be.
I've also seen in a lot of like local game stores and stuff, they have like a big like cardboard cutout of like the box cover of the game and stuff. So like I think they tried to advertise this a little more than some of their stuff, which I think is good. The artwork on
No,
the
yeah, I
box
feel
is
they
great
might as
too.
well, and like the fact that they seem to have actually put a bunch of effort in the board game aspect of it, like
Hmm.
they might as well push it as a board game as well to try to expand kind of their market and the sort of people that are interested in their games.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
interesting that like look, the rules for it are certainly very similar. It seems to the previous Warhammer Quest games. They do seem a little bit more complex, partially just because they have to add shooting and such into it.
Hmm.
Which I mean, certainly there was some of that in the Age of Sigmar stuff, but it was more like magic spells and such. It was much more minimal.
Yeah.
Um, they have all this stuff with an initiative tracker to determine when people strike and such. So like there are a bunch of different elements that make it a little bit more stuff to manage. But I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I guess it's interesting that they have done that and made it more complex rather than Games Workshop's tendency to like
Hmm.
streamline stuff more, like in
Yeah.
between different iterations of like the basic games. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, Greg, if we do eventually buy, you can paint the Chaos Space Marines.
Can I?
Yeah, can take it Farbo Co. Paint and take. Paint those.
Paint
Give
them
them
up
about
really
15
nice.
minutes.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. You can have those cool beastmen with all their different weapon options. It will be awesome.
Pretty neat.
Pretty neat.
Oh. Alright, so what else? Is there anything else that we need to cover or talk about? Like, I don't know if there are any other interesting, like, announcements on the community page.
I don't really think so. Like it's been like there haven't been a huge amount of different things being released. Like there's certainly everyone's kind of just waiting on Blackstone Fortress and all that stuff. And yeah, nothing to do. I mean, sure, there's some Lord of the Rings stuff, but you know, no one cares about that.
It's hard to care about that.
The people at the San Diego store play it, right, Adam? You said?
Yeah, man. Yeah, like, every weekend where I went there were people playing it.
I mean, I think it's pretty good. I heard it's pretty good. And I mean, if you like Lord of the Rings, which I mean, that's good. I mean, I like Lord of the Rings, but I don't know.
Not,
Not that much.
not, yeah. I don't know. A
Not
lot of
that
the
much.
models they looked pretty good, but like not hit it out of the park. Awesome.
No, no,
um,
no, not at all.
yeah. I don't know. So I feel that's about all that really have to talk about.
Yeah, no, I
Probably
think
think of ending
we
the
can.
stream somewhat soon.
Yeah, we can
Um,
probably wrap it up pretty soon. One thing that I guess is worth, I guess, repeating that yeah, it should be both. You can watch these sort of recordings through Twitch, is like the main thing we're hosting it through, but
mhm.
also our YouTube channel, which is just between the Bolter and me. It should be there along with some old unboxing videos and such that you don't really have to watch. There's not there's not much good there,
Oh,
but
come
like
on, Eric. I was hoping you'd do an unboxing video of Blackstone Fortress.
yeah, well,
It could be
probably.
done. It could.
Yeah, I mean it could be done. It could be done. Obviously,
Let
it
us
couldn't.
know if you want to see it, viewers.
Yeah, obviously it couldn't be done on this stream, or at least not on my end because it's laggy as fuck.
Yeah,
But if it would just be recorded as a separate video,
that's probably what it would
that
need to
could
be.
that could be done
Get all
if
our
people were
first-hand
interested in.
commentary about the models and other stuff, even more if you want that.
Yeah, but yeah, so there's some unboxing stuff there, but and I think yeah, so all these streams should go up on there, and if we actually do the record like podcasts and stuff through the streams, they'll be there too with all the images and such. So
Yeah,
I think that's good. I guess one thing that might also be worth mentioning, we do have a Discord group now that
that's crazy.
if you're interested in joining that, there's kind of a invitation link below the Twitch information on our Twitch channel that if you're interested, you can join and, ask us questions, show pictures of stuff you're working on, whatever you'd like. But yeah, it's just another opportunity to get a hold of us and that sort of thing. So,
Yep, yep.
but yeah, and as always, we'll still keep updating the blog and our Instagram page with kind of the stuff we're working on. But
Yep. All right. Well, until next time, everyone. It's
Yeah,
nice
thanks for
chatting.
listening.
yeah,
And
thanks
I
for
feel we'll
listening.
probably have another stream next week at a similar time. And
Yeah,
hopefully, eventually, we'll have some more, like once we have the setup a little better. And maybe I can show me some work sessions of some of my converting or sculpting or something. We'll see how that goes.
yeah, no, sounds good.
All right, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.